Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, October 24th. Who can believe it? Almost the end of October 2018. This is the TED Show, episode 265, with my friend, the dapper, Robert Cardona.
Nice to meet you.
I'm so happy to have him on the show. So give him some love. Let us know you can hear us or see us. I know our timing is Tony Boner's on. Hey, Tony. I know our timing's a little bit late, but we had to make sure we had the right room. Eileen Winfrey's on. Eileen, did you like my post this morning? I know you liked it. Oh, Ben Gilbert's on. Congratulations on the baby, Mr. Gilbert. That's awesome.
Good
morning. All right, so you can hear us good. So, welcome to the show. You have a whole bunch of. I said, is it Bonner? Oh man, you got to spell it Bonner then, Tony. A great history. You have a great story. So let's start with you and give us a little background on Robert Cardona.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm originally from New Jersey.
Me too. What part?
Really?
Yes.
Well, I was born in Jersey City.
So I was born in Bergen County.
Bergen County.
Really northeast.
Yes.
Super northeast.
Jersey boy. Did a part of my life there. Went to Puerto Rico a couple times. Did there as well. Let me see. Before real estate, I can say I did military work. I was a U.S. Army.
Thank you for your service. I love it. I love it.
How
How many years were you in the military?
Yes, I did 4 years in Army.
And you traveled the world?
Correct, yes. I was in Germany. It was great. Germany was awesome. I still have contacts there.
I love it.
Especially for real estate.
Why the Army? Why did you decide to go in?
Well, for the Army, it was more of a, since I was a little kid, I would watch these, nice episodes and the propaganda, I guess. Like, hey, join the Army, be all you can be. And I was excited about that. I'm very competitive. I want to take the challenge and serve my country.
Nice. You're competitive? Say it isn't so. We'll learn more about that.
Yeah.
So you did your 4 years.
Correct.
And then when you came out, did you find the transition difficult? When we talk with vets a lot on the show, the biggest issue and some of the things that we're trying to fundraise for are the transition out of military life into civilian life.
Correct, yes. It was a very hard transition from something very structurized, very on point, to coming back to the civilian world and try to adjust to that.
Because like you said, it's very structured.
Yes.
You also have people that would be willing to give up their lives for you, and you've got this brotherhood, this sisterhood, this family, and then you come out into the crazy civilian world and you realize people are not like that in general.
No, but actually I felt good. Once I got out, I felt the appreciation.
Good.
And I love helping people out. That helped me appreciate things in life in another perspective, and that's why I'm becoming very, very successful, thanks to the Lord.
Wonderful. And so what did you do when you first got out? Did you decide you wanted to do real estate right then?
No, I actually went to the VA, Department of Veteran Affairs. I was a care coordinator there for a while, for 3 years.
You were I did not know that.
Yes.
See, this is why I don't ask questions beforehand or read.
Yes, I felt like the need of still giving back to the community in a way, and especially to the veterans. So I said, let me try the VA. At that time, I was still in college, graduated, got my business degree, and I felt, well, my wife told me, she was watching HGTV, and she was like, hey, you can probably do that. And I was like, sure, let's try it.
I love HGTV. That's the one where you raise cockroaches for a living and you're buying a $1.5 million house somewhere. But what did you do, real quick before we get into real estate?
Right.
So the care coordinator for the VA, was that helping them get the services that the vets needed? So
I was in the role of assigning veterans outside the VA to get care. So it was a very nice experience. The VA, as you know, the wait time is very, very difficult.
It's very long.
Yes. So I was in charge of taking the veterans outside to the community, to community doctors, and get them seen earlier than expected.
What would you, before we move on from veterans, what would you say the civilians that have not been in the military, around the military, what do they need to know if they want to get involved and try to help vets?
You have to understand what a veteran comes from, and that's the most important thing. When you do your diligence work into a veteran, let's say a veteran customer that wants to buy a home, you have to understand, first, they're a veteran. They probably have quite demands, the expectations, the timely manner that you communicate to them.
Right.
You have to be very, specialized on that in order for them to appreciate you and give you the respect.
Plus Jane, I'm going to make a comment on what you said because it's really funny. Plus, I feel like veterans, what I've heard, Carson Schaefer, who's a fraternity brother of mine and a veteran who's a member here, he does the groups, the men's group.
Right.
And he said, it's a trust factor. So you can't, if you've been a civilian and never in the military, you can't understand what you all have been through. So there's a trust. You've got to gain the trust. Correct. And going outside of that can take a little longer, so you have to be patient.
You have to be very
That's
patient.
why we're so passionate about VA loans, which we'll talk about. The VA loans are so important because, in my opinion, there are so few real benefits that you get once you get out. And so to deny them or make it difficult for somebody to get a VA loan, or for real estate agents to not want to accept an offer because it's a VA loan, that's a source of contention for me.
Well, I'm very passionate about that. Now that you speak on it, I love helping veterans. I actually try to do 100% try to get them on the right path on getting approved, since there's a lot of challenges on that area. We try as much as we can to guide them step one to closing, and have them hopefully they have a great experience through the journey.
And I think education, we'll move it. Jane, I want to share your post that had something to do with butterfly houses with toothpicks. Oh, there's RJ.
Hey.
Weepa, there you are. We were talking about you earlier, Roland. I can't call him Roland. But I think that on the veteran side, I would love to educate realtors. We talked about this at a big meeting recently. Right. That a lot of times when we do VA loans, the realtor, the seller's realtor, doesn't want to accept the VA because their perception is that it's going to take longer, it's harder to get through, the appraisal process is super hard, and that's really not the case. Right. Especially if you have a lender that is experienced in VA loans. Correct. Now, if you don't, if you're trying to go online, nothing against the online people, but if you're getting your pre-approval or pre-qual, hate the vendor, from an online company, you don't know, you don't have the relationship, so you have to, but I really want to educate real estate agents. I'd love to do a class on VA loans.
That's awesome.
Because I think it's so sad that we've had VA pre-approvals, real pre-approvals, where we've gotten the docs and we're good to go, and they're 9, 10, 11 times passed because they're vets, because it's a VA loan. And that's my thing. So, all right, so let's get into real estate. Okay. So your wife sees HGTV. She sees the butterfly houses with toothpicks. Our budget's $1.5 million. And she knows that you have the talent to talk to people. Correct. Is that what it was?
Yes, she saw that, and she was like, well, Robert, you should try that. You should be the owner of your time as well. Correct. And that's something that I was looking for when I got out of the military. I wanted that freedom. And the ability to have, ownership of my time, and help and grow.
Because I think people underestimate the value of time. Right. I'm super bad at valuing my own time. I'm trying to get better about taking meetings that make sense, doing shows that are productive, and that make sense for me, rather than just carte blanche allowing anybody and their brother to come in or sister and come in and spend time with me. You have to be able to budget your time. Correct. So you talk about on your Facebook page, entrepreneur is on there. Right. What's the difference? Like, how do you incorporate that into being a real estate agent?
Correct. So you have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You have to take real estate to the next level, and that's what I've been trying to do. I still have a lot of growing to do. I'm on my second year in real estate, but I've done very well. And in that fact, I love what I'm doing.
What's the secret? So what did you do different out of the gate?
Yes.
What were your things? Because a lot of people get their license, and then they think, okay, I'm going to make 6 figures in the next 2 months. And they don't understand the amount of work that goes into it. So what did you decide to do differently in order for you to be successful after just under 2 years? Correct.
So what I did was basically look at the market, understand the market, understand the trend. What are people looking for? Emotional connections on the advertisements. How do you connect a family to a home with just a picture? are you able to do videos? So I started questioning myself. What are the ways that I can do? What can I do to separate myself from the crew?
Sure.
And I did that. I did my research. I try to be innovative. I try to be just myself. You can't be something you're not, because people can sense that.
So people can, we talk about this on the show a lot. People can tell
Right.
and I try to not let anybody on the show who's fake, or I'll call them out on it
call
if
them
they're
out
trying.
right away.
Because here's the deal: if people don't sense that you're authentic
Yes.
about you, they can tell, and then they won't buy into you.
That's correct.
Consumers people are very perceptive
Yes.
about that,
And everybody's different.
And everyone's different. So that's why when people go on Facebook and post all of their stuff, and they look like they're leading the life of, I don't know, a Kardashian,
Yeah.
and you know they're eating beanie weenies for the week, it makes me crazy when people can smell that and sense it.
Right.
And so you decided to get into video. You wanted to get into something that could showcase
Correct.
your talents and how you can communicate better with your clients.
Yes, just give a different angle of just the traditional pictures of a home. Maybe take the person into the home in a video, in a creative way.
Sure.
You know, that's what I thought about doing different.
But so how did that morph? So when you first started that, obviously that's different. A lot of realtors, even though they go on, and I would love to teach you, to help you, they go on and they make these homemade Facebook Live shows. Look, this is a homemade Facebook Live show, so no judgment. But I feel like they go on and they don't realize the camera angle's bad,
Right.
the lighting's bad, the audio's bad.
Correct.
And so you're on there, and all I can think about is that really the best reflection of you.
Right.
Just because you want to get into video doesn't mean you want to get into it haphazardly.
Well, you have to do you have to do your research. You have to find out what is your talent on camera. Find out the best content that you can show. Not show the whole house. Show the key features. That's what I try to do. And just be authentic on the video.
Right.
Just flow.
Right, and being authentic means being authentic. So
Yes.
what I would encourage people to do, and hopefully you can back this up, that doesn't mean you tell people what you think they
Right.
want to hear.
Right.
You want to be authentic you, because
Right.
you're the one difference in every other marketing that you do. So nobody is you, and
Right.
nobody's going to do it the way you do it. So
Correct.
why not be you so that
Yes.
people can see you and respond to you?
Yes.
And
Also, a key thing that I try to do in my real estate is to give back. So I have community loyalty programs. I give back to I just sponsor a wheelchair event at the VA.
Nice.
That makes me feel great.
Of
You know,
course.
things like that, giving back to community.
So, yeah, we're big on that too. I mean, I've always given back. We're big on first responders,
Right.
VA,
Right.
nurses. I mean, you go down the teachers.
Right.
I have always given back to 5-year cancer survivors.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
what you want to do is you want to create that community, because
Correct.
it's not about what the business is. It's
Right.
about that you've been blessed, and then you want to give back to people. Because
Exactly.
if you give, in my opinion, if you give back and you're doing it because you want something back, then the universe is going to
Yes.
respond to that, or
Yes.
God, or whatever
You
your
gotta
beliefs
be-
are.
you
You
gotta
have
be
to be
truthful.
authentic and
Yes.
truthful about it, and you
Yes.
want to do it in a way
Right.
that means something,
Right.
but also you have no expectations. And there's nothing, in my opinion, I can hear you talking about it too, more joyful than doing something like the wheelchair event that
Right.
you're talking about.
Yes.
You're doing it because it brings you joy. It's a good thing
Yes.
to do.
It's amazing.
You're not doing it because you're bean counting and trying to
Right.
figure out how that's going to bring you in more money. And if it doesn't bring me in a loan or in a real estate transaction, then I'm not going to do it
Don't
again.
do it, exactly. No.
And I think people make that mistake. They
Correct.
jump into community stuff for the wrong reason.
I agree.
And so, what else do you do in the community? So you give back. You have,
Give back. I was very big also on Puerto Rico when the disaster happened.
Sure.
I try to gather as many realtors I can, lenders. We got resources and shipped them right back to Puerto Rico and help them as well down there.
That's good.
Yes.
So we're working currently on, which I'll include Robert in on that. We are trying to organize in the real estate community a realtor/TED supply drive for Michael victims
Right.
in Florida.
Right.
And we have a lot of individual offices that are doing that right now, which is
Right.
amazing. But wouldn't it be cool if we could all come together as a community and show that we can collaborate and not want to kill each other?
Yes.
We want to collaborate, we want to work together. And so the Citrus Club has been generous enough to allow us to have a room, and we're going to announce the date soon. And so you can drop all, we're going to kind of do like a telethon. So more details about that.
That sounds interesting.
But I mean, we want to do something, you know, we want to give back, and our community is really good. So tell people about, so you make the videos.
Correct.
But people can make a video. So what do you do next? How do you keep your clients engaged? How do you keep your database engaged?
So first you have to know, what are you trying to project? That's the first thing I do. I analyze what I wanted to project. From there I create my game plan. Once I go to the video, I already know what I want to do. Afterwards, if it's just a live video, if it's something just from my production, I'll go to iMovie and you know, put a little touch to it and shoot it out. But if something more into it, like a production, it takes time. It takes a week or so to get the production done, details, and have them all put it together in a way that the audience can appreciate it.
So when you say you put a production together, do you have a company that you work with?
Correct.
So it's not just the TED Show and the crazy Facebook Live with me, you, and no producer.
Right.
You actually have a team that so you're committed to it. You're committed to that process because you've seen that it's impactful for you and your business and your clients.
Totally agreed.
And so do you do, because I know realtors want to know, so service to others is one thing which we talked about. So on the real estate side, do you do open house? People want to know these things. Realtors want to know, do you do open houses? Do you do brokers opens? What are some of the traditional means of marketing that you utilize?
Well, I always try to go old school. I believe door knocking, being a presence in the community is very important so people can feel you out, as well as I'll say going back to cold calling for some business. A lot of people has gone away from it. I believe it still works. And then general marketing, just making your presence known everywhere.
Because I think what happens is you graduate from an amazing school like Andy Brown School. I love Andy and Pam. And you get your basic knowledge, and Andy does a great job. Andy and Pam do a great job of trying to give you more than just the basic knowledge. But you still get out and you get with a broker, and then you're like, okay, none of this is what I studied in that class, because it's real world.
It's real world.
And then you think you're just going to come out of the gate and everybody, all your friends or somebody's going to just throw you a ton of business.
That right there is a reality check, because when I became a realtor, I believed the circle that I had on Facebook was going to be more of a responding to it, but you find out real quick. You have to work yourself into an audience.
Well, you have to, and I think so. From my struggle has been, which I think realtors too. So you get out, people know me. I have a lot of great contacts. That doesn't always immediately transfer to having business. And so you have to really work at the relationships and then shift the mindset of the people that you're used to dealing with and going, all right, I would really like a referral for a loan. I would really like you to refer me somebody who's buying or selling. And so it doesn't automatically happen. And I think a lot of realtors, it's not just realtors, people in business think, oh, I open my doors, here it goes, and then they're twiddling their thumbs because they're not being proactive about it.
Correct. And in my case, on the entrepreneurship skills, I try to create my own network where we can fix your home, we can sell your home, we can get international exposure on a buyer that you might want, and you know, those are creative ways to try to get more business and satisfy the audience. Which is
awesome. Hey Brian, how you doing? What do you do on social media? You've got the videos, obviously. You've got but is there some way? Is there an algorithm? Is there some marketing plan? Because you're a strategic guy. We've heard it a few times. A lot of people go on social media and they think, okay, if I just share this, everybody and their brother is going to love it, and I'm going to get a ton of business. But you have to be very purposeful and intentional about how you share.
Well, you have to be informative. You have to inform. You can't always sell.
Right.
It has to be something else, other angles.
Correct.
And in my case, I like to inform about different kind of stuff. It could be market updates. It could be community events. It could just be something new that I'm doing. It's just, you have to be creative and get people engaged as a real person, not as a strategy just to sell.
Well, it's so true. So I don't want to say the B word. I complain a lot about the realtors who the only picture I ever see is the key picture.
Right.
All right, I love you, but I need you to do something more than just that one key picture.
Right. Be more creative.
Be creative. Give information. You know those newsletters that once I know when it's going to hit. I get 9 or 10 of them from the same brokerage on the same day. That's not creative. No. It might serve a purpose, but if you're trying to separate yourself out on the marketing side, do something different. Yes. And if the only time I see you on social media is when you've got the key, that really ugly giant key, it should be included, don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't be your only video, your only post, your only communication with your database.
No, I agree 100% on that.
And so I want to see you all do more, which is what Robert's talking about.
Right.
He's expanding. You got to get outside of your comfort zone.
Correct. I think. You have to think. You're gonna get what you give, right? So if you give low quality of production of news, that's what you're gonna get.
Correct.
I mean, try to be the best you can in what you do.
And the low production, that's such a great point.
Yes.
So if you're posting pictures from your iPhone 3, I also need you to stop. I will take the pictures for you, but please stop posting the pictures that are grainy. We're in a new world. It's 2018, almost 2019. I want you to use a real camera. If you you can't afford a bigger phone, get like a basic camera and take a real picture. Because when I see the grainy pictures or I see the really bad posts with no hashtags that make sense.
That's very true.
With no tags that make sense or no tags at all, then you're wasting your time on social media. Your algorithm is completely off. It doesn't even exist.
I like that comment right there. It says...
Brian Whitehurst.
Yes, engage, emotion, compassion, and value. And that's the way to market.
I
That's
agree.
the way to project. You have to connect the dots.
You do. And people have to feel connected to you.
Correct.
And sometimes it can be difficult. I get on social media, it can be difficult to show that. That's why I love the live show.
Yes.
Because there's no way to fake this. Obviously, I haven't had makeup done. There's no lighting. There's no production assistant or producer. It's me and Robert in front of my iPhone.
An amazing view, by the way.
And an amazing view, which I wish I could show you guys, but the lighting that way looks bad. It's too reflective. And I'm sure there's a way to handle that, all of you. Morita's on. She's the queen, by the way. Hi, Morita.
Hello.
But I think you're right. And Brian's right. The emotion, compassion, and value.
Right.
They have to see a value.
Correct.
They also have to see that you're human. If everything you do is cookie cutter, thank you so much for your business, blah, and that's all you post.
How about the follow-ups?
The follow-ups. Talk about that.
How about that? That's very important. For me, it's been a key. You have to follow up. You have to be grateful. I've even thought about doing something for Thanksgiving with my past buyers.
I love
like
that.
Like a thank you.
That's great.
A dinner. Show that anniversary appreciation for their home.
Right.
Things like that.
That's what you want to do. So gratitude is a big theme of the show.
Correct.
We do Gratitude Tuesday, which I missed this past week. Thank you all for reminding me of that. But I think that showing that gratitude, but you're right, the comments and you have to engage. So if you do a show, you do a video, you do any kind of post on Facebook, and then you forget about it, you just leave it.
Correct.
And you have 50 people who've responded or said, great picture, great this, fantastic.
Right.
You are missing the
Where's
boat.
your response?
Your response, and then people will forget and won't want to post the next time.
Correct.
And so it's so important for you to continue to engage, even on so I'm still in the middle of my birthday thank yous. My birthday was October 4th. Oh. I'm working on it. And I'm going to go through every single post. I promise you. I'm back to, it started at midnight on October 4th. I'm working on it, but it's so important to me, not because I care about the algorithm, but because I care about the person and I want them to know I'm grateful. Yes, and that gratitude gets you so far.
You know something, Ted? Even at birthdays, when you put happy birthday and somebody don't respond to it or even likes it, the person will feel like, wow, I just said happy birthday and there's nothing back.
Correct. So that's why literally I've posted twice already saying I'm working on it.
Exactly.
Don't think I'm ignoring you. Also, can I encourage you guys, since Robert brought this up, if you just click on the basic happy birthday, there's no emojis, there's no exclamation points, can you please take the extra second to add a period to it? Because Facebook only gives you the basic happy birthday and you can click on it. Let me tell you, we all know you just clicked on it. It means nothing. Anybody can do that. So do something a little extra. Engage the human being. Be personable. Be good about that. I want you guys to be more, not just sensitive, but be more authentic in your responses to people. But I got a ton, so I had a bunch. And I could tell the ones that just hit the button, happy birthday. I'm still gonna comment on them, but seriously, can you not just take the 1 second it takes to put an exclamation point, or a congratulations, or a happy face, and then you separate yourself, you differentiate yourself from the rest of the people, it actually means something other than me knowing you just hit the button, like you did for the 40 other people that have birthdays that day.
That's true.
All right, so we're gonna share all of Robert's contact information, how you can reach out to him, which you obviously do. We got a lot of comments, and I promise you, you heard him. He's going to go back in, he's going to comment. We're all going to comment on everything and reach out to you guys when we're finished with the show. Any parting words of wisdom, anything you want to share with them before we head out?
No, just focus on your craft, be authentic, give back in a truthful way. And I just want you guys to know that I'm open for anybody who would need help as a realtor to realtor, as a customer, whatever it is, I'm here for you. And after serving our country, now I'm dedicated to serving you.
Love that. All right, you're a joy to have on, brother. I appreciate you.
Appreciate
we
you.
love you guys. All right, we'll be back at 1 o'clock. We'll see you then. Love you guys.